I've been playing a lot of CK3 again recently, and since a large portion of my mod list remains unupdated, I was forced to play
Vanilla CK3.
And let me tell you, phew, it is something. Now don't get me wrong, I like CK3. I like CK3 a lot. I want CK3 to be good. But when you start playing the game for longer than, I don't know, 150 years, you start noticing just how shallow and empty it still is. It's been 5 years now, and still there's so much that its predecessor does way better. Let's start with the AI in CK3 feels like it's been lobotomized. Vassals just kind of exist. They're a bunch of nothing burgers. If you remove the fact that they'll immediately enter a faction against you whenever you just slightly piss them off, you barely interact with them at all. They're all empty husks of people that could exist. And bar for that one ugly ass looking inbred hunchback that pops up every 100 years or so,
Look at this dude.
everyone's the same. No one is unique. More often than not, I associate my vassal with the title he has, not the actual person who holds that title, which for the premise of CK3 being about the people, seems kind of backward. Enemies throw themselves into suicidal wars, and your allies show up late, or never. I like the addition they made, where you can see what your AI ally's next move is, even if it's not correct half of the time, but that doesn't really matter if whenever I actually need an ally in my war, they're already stuck in 5 of their own. Yet, I'm forced to join their senseless wars when they can just say no without any repercussions. And when they do manage to scramble together an army, they'll happily stack 5 times the supply limit on one province until half of them die of dysentery. On the flip side, why is it so easy to get alliances? Why does the emperor of the Byzantine Empire want to marry some shit-stained duchy in Istria? And then there are the... What was Paradox thinking when they added legitimacy? Didn't we have enough useless roleplay mana already? The whole point should be obvious, to show the difference between a dynasty that's ruled for 10 generations versus some peasant who rolled into the throne room with a pitchfork and said, "I am the king now." Instead, legitimacy is personal, rather than tied to titles or dynasties. So if your family has ruled in France for 200 years and you conquer England, you're magically just as legitimate there as you were back home. That's not how that works. William the Conqueror? Oh yeah, the Anglo-Saxons love you, bro. You've got 500 legitimacy. Christ be praised. Keep up the good work, Oomphy. And the effects it does have? Sure, there are modifiers for factions, marriage acceptance, vassals, loyalty, but you can just ignore those. You'll get them anyway since legitimacy is absurdly easy to max, and once you're there, it just sits there like an abandoned Tamagotchi. The irony is, half of what legitimacy does overlaps with prestige anyway. It's almost like Paradox split one currency into 2 just so they could sell you a DLC. Oh! CK3 starts off running smooth as silk, but by the time you've hit 1250, it's like you've booted into Stellaris on a calculator. Armies stutter and commands don't go through without massive delay. It almost feels like time is passing parallelly to real life. And with all under heaven expanding the map into Asia, gods be good, my lord, cause lag is coming. If my PC is already crying with 1,000 peasants in France, how will it survive 10,000 eunuchs in the Song dynasty? Here's the thing, the map doesn't need to be bigger. The game needs to be deeper. Right now, vanilla CK3 feels as wide as an ocean and as deep as a fucking piss puddle on the sidewalk. Paradox should be focusing on optimizing the late game instead of stuffing another continent into the blender. Though if you think performance is bad in single player, wait until you try multiplayer. CK3 multiplayer is a blessing. It turns out the game actually feels alive when you put people in it that actually do shit, but it's also the closest thing to psychological warfare Paradox has ever made. Our group had to re-host half hourly at some point. Half hourly. You could set your clock by it. Oh, it's 8:30, time for your scheduled desync. And when the game desyncs, it has a slight chance to bless you with the infamous baby bug, where everyone in the world turns into dying infants. If Paradox treated multiplayer as more than an afterthought, they'd dedicate actual dev time to stability. Imagine a world where CK3 multiplayer didn't feel like playing Russian roulette with your save file. Crazy, I know. Crazy. Like today's sponsor, Surfshark. Ever feel like the internet has it out for you? One moment you're binge watching your favorite series and suddenly blocked by geo restrictions. Or worse, you're on public Wi-Fi and some random guy in a hoodie is eyeballing your data like it's free to take. That's where Surfshark comes in, a VPN or virtual private network that scrambles your information, masks your location, and keeps trackers, creeps, and hackers at bay. With Surfshark, you can bulldoze through irritating geo-blocks. Want to stream that show only available overseas? Easy. Surfshark unlocks content globally. No lag, no annoying pop-ups, no artificial borders. Ever jumped on sketchy airport Wi-Fi? Hackers thrive there, but with Surfshark, your traffic is encrypted. That means you can scroll and roll without turning into somebody's identity theft jackpot. One Surfshark account shields every device you own. Laptop, phone, tablet, even your smart fridge if you've got one. And with Surfshark Alert, you'll know instantly if your email card info or personal data leaks online. So why wait? Go to surfshark.com/DragoonVPN or use the code DragoonVPN at checkout to grab 4 extra months on your plan. Surfshark, because the internet's chaotic enough. I don't hate DLC in principle. CK2 had great DLCs that transformed the game over a span of 6 years. But it's now been 5 years for CK3 and we still can't even play Republics or Theocracies. CK3's approach feels like throwing spaghetti at the wall. Cans of the Stat came out to very mixed reviews, and now we're staring down All Under Heaven, which might be the most ambitious and most terrifying DLC yet. More map, more lag, more problems. Next DLC after Asia? Probably All Under Heaven and Hell, so I can press my claim on the afterlife because I'm going to fucking kill myself. What we actually need isn't map bloat, it's mechanic bloat. Internal politics, succession crises, secret societies, a reason for your dynasty to actually struggle once you've blobbed across half of the map. Because right now, CK3 feels like a slog of nothing ever happens. CK3 has so much potential. It can be a lot of fun, but compared to CK2, it's bland. CK2 was a wild mess of satanic rituals, memorable events, and late-game chaos. CK3 feels sterile by comparison. Mods help, sure, but as I always say, they shouldn't be carrying the entire game's replayability. That's the dev's job. Let me just say this. I don't hate CK3. I want CK3 to succeed, but right now, it feels like they're stretching it thinner instead of building it stronger. They should optimize the performance, fix multiplayer, make things actually matter, and for the love of God, give the AI a functioning brainstem. I don't want to be indifferent about CK3. I want to love it. But love means being honest when things suck.